Hello, everybody. We are those guys you hate.
Welcome to the show that encourages you to be your best self by not being like us.
My brother and I hopelessly search for nuance as we wade through wacky segments and crazy conversations.
If you can withstand the insanity, you might actually learn something.
Tyler, what do you have going on this week?
Ryan, later on this episode, after many months of making me look like a real a-hole for talking it up so much, the James Webb telescope is finally gonna deliver some images next month.
Let's get it going.
And unions, Ryan.
Sure.
What about you?
Tyler, you will never guess who came out as gay. Football. And I tell you a story of alligators versus sniper rifles. So let's get to it. Confidence, Tyler. You heard of it?
That elusive thing that has escaped me most of my life.
Is it tangible, Tyler? Can you put your finger on when somebody is feeling confident?
I think it's a certain energy that they give off, much like
a je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, but
X Factor.
But
I'm sorry. I am sorry.
Are you just gonna go? At least those are relative to what I'm saying.
We're a minute in, and I have a finger in your face. I'm just yelling. I'm sorry. Please continue.
We're getting better though. You're
you.
improving. You're improving. What were we talking about?
Je ne sais quoi.
I think much like when you stand next to somebody and you get that feeling of like, man, this guy's giving off some really bad vibes right now. Somebody walks into a room and you're like, okay, that person is giving me an uncomfortable feeling. Somebody who's very self-confident, they walk in, you're like, man, that guy, something about that guy.
I think the kids are calling it big dick energy, Tyler.
Yes, they are.
Big dick energy.
Yes, they are.
Sure. So I think that you can get that if you buy one of those pills at the gas station, the horny goat weed. I don't know if you...
He used to sell those to gas
Tyler!
stations.
That is true. My first sales job was trying to sell a product called Stiff Nights.
Yes.
But with the KN. Oh, man.
That's pretty well done.
Shameful admissions?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess you were out, you were trying to do something for yourself, trying to be your own man.
And I will tell you,
you started at the dick. Well, I noticed that.
It ties in perfectly to this because I had no confidence. While I was doing it, I had no confidence. I was so afraid to sell it, not only because... just rejection at all points in time is scary as hell. And also, I'm pitching a product about pitching a tent to some guy who works in a little, grocery store, convenience store about dicks with like a 70-year-old woman standing behind me.
Yeah.
Quietly,
absolutely.
as if I'm selling some sort of, mixtape behind a 7-Eleven.
Well, I would imagine the man is sitting here listening to your pitch, forgive the nomenclature.
Of course.
And listening to you and thinking to himself, dude, I just had a gun put in my face 10 minutes ago, and now you're talking to me about forcing men's erections kind of pills. Get out of my face.
Now your gun is digging into my hip. No, and I had absolutely no confidence. I won't even go into what I did to try to relax myself for that. I guess that sounds too ambiguous. But I think
he would take his own product. He'd walk in. You'd know he was
Sir,
confident.
I would love to buy from you, but it is rude to point. Is that all the erection jokes we have?
Yeah, pretty much.
Sure. That was a little bit on the nose. So I think that confidence comes so much in how you grade yourself. I think it is the way that you hold yourself accountable. What you're holding yourself up to is how your confidence comes to be, because it's not like the world's most perfect people are the only people who are allowed to have confidence. Sometimes you would meet someone, and I won't be too specific in who I mean, but that is the opposite of society's standards, that loves themselves through and through, and it really stands out.
Absolutely. There was a bartender that I knew that would talk about this girl who would come into his bar every Tuesday, put headphones on, would be writing in her journal, whatever it was, and would just be dancing to herself at the bar. I like wilding out. Am I allowed to say that?
I would prefer you don't.
Okay. She was going crazy, Ryan.
Was she wilding out?
She was wilding out.
Okay.
And I remember him saying to me, and it really stuck with me. He's like, man, people would look at her like she was crazy. And all I could think was, man, I wish I had that kind of confidence. Yes. I wish I could be myself in front of strangers like that.
I will tell you this, and I don't know if it'll shock you at all. Perhaps second shameful admission of the cold open.
Go on.
I am the guy who gets down to music at the gym. That's true.
This is like the 8th time we've talked about this. Yeah.
Yeah. I am slowly losing my faculties.
You get angry all the time about people not wearing headphones so you can sing out loud in the gym.
Yeah,
you are the worst person at the gym.
Well, I don't know what you guys are doing at my gym. What are you doing in my dressing room? I don't know.
You're lucky I allow you in here.
I'm expressing myself. When I go to the gym, it's me versus the music.
And everybody else, because you get annoyed at them for not wearing headphones.
I don't get annoyed at them per se. I just think they're being rude and I notice it. So here is what I'm talking about.
You're an enigma.
Wrapped inside a riddle, am I not? I think that we need to start grading ourselves better, okay?
Okay, I like the sound of
As
this.
I get older and I look in the mirror and I don't see looking back at me what I've always seen my whole life, I need to start grading myself better. I need to start accepting some certain things. Like, dude, you look good for how much you drank, bro. I got to tell you, you are no big gin nose. You're looking, I don't see any, burst blood vessels in your eye. Finally, for a couple months, good on you.
Ryan, I'm sad to tell you this, but that's already been taken.
By?
It's called negging. You're negging yourself.
Really?
Man, I like your hair so much better like this other than that last time.
Dude, I got to tell you, you're not as ugly as I remember you. That's
a good one.
Is it you or is it me? Because your face.
You look like I need a drink.
Better than how worse I thought it was.
Yeah, that's negging, Ryan.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you want to be negged some more, step inside this podcast because my name is Ryan.
And my name is Tyler.
And we are those guys you hate. What is going on, everybody? And hello to you. Welcome to another Those Guys You Hate podcast. Tyler, how you doing, brother?
I just did a salute for the people watching, and it was very close to the Hail Old Germany.
Sure.
I don't even want to say his name.
Hail Old Germany.
around the late 30s, early 40s time.
Hail? I'm not sure what you're talking about. What was going on back then?
It was a kooky era.
Tyler, welcome back. I have a story to start this show off that I think that you're going to appreciate because
please,
in some weird way, it hit me in the worst possible place. You know me very well.
Your testes.
In my testes, Tyler. Thank you for working them in so early. I like to get to them early and often. This one actually hit me in my ego. Okay.
Even more sensitive.
Oh, way more sensitive and bigger.
Yeah. Does it give you that same stomach ache though?
I don't know. Honestly, this was so funny because I went to the gym with my son. We went there. We played racquetball. I don't know when the last time you played racquetball.
So much fun.
So much fun. Yeah. It's a great way to get a little cardio. So we were there.
And you get to stay in the air conditioning.
That's the thing.
It's awesome.
It's much like volleyball where you get to stop every couple minutes. Like, oh man, that was hard, right? Okay, let's do this.
We're doing it again?
Hold on. I want to get a sip of beer. Hold on one second. Love volleyball. But yes, racquetball, you get to party and you get to rock it, but you're in an air-conditioned room. Not enough of that in cardio. PE class, get your shit together. We need a bubble out there like the Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is it's getting so hot down here. Eventually, everything's going to have to be inside. To get to the gym, I'm going to have to walk through a long-ass hallway.
I think we should be there now. And while you're doing it, could you put in those moving floors from the airport?
The escalators that don't go up.
If I had one of those that was underneath me at all times, not on like a hamster wheel, I would be fine.
Well, they have those things that you lean forward on and they just move you.
No, not cool. Okay. Not as cool.
They also explode.
I'm thinking of myself as like a one-man tank, Tyler.
with like battle armor on.
You know what? You can even take my legs. I'll just take the wheels. I'll be fine.
Now I'm picturing you riding an actual Segway and you've put like metal on the front of it with like spikes. It's now become a chariot with no horses.
Like that PlayStation game, Twisted Metal. So I am at the gym. My son and I leave racquetball. We go out to work out. Okay. And I see this older woman who I've known for years. Okay. Just by seeing her there. Hi, how are you doing?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And the thing that stands out about her is that she is in her I'm guessing here, late 60s, early 70s.
Sure.
And the only way that you would know it is by her face. And what I mean by that is she is in incredible shape. And the way that she does it is by doing her own thing. Much like you said about that woman at the bar who's doing her own thing, this woman stands out with a lot of look at me kind of exercises.
Sure,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I think there are certain movements, certain things you see at the gym where you're like, why are you doing that?
That's totally...
Why are you doing that?
Well...
And you're going to get hurt. Stop doing that showboaty shit. You're going to hurt yourself.
I'm glad that you said that because that's right where this woman is. But what I would say, and I do a lot of these look at me exercises too. I bring a lot of yoga into the gym.
He wears chains around his neck.
I do. And around my front. And when I'm in the gym, I do a lot of, I hate to say it, but look at me exercises because if you're doing yoga where everybody else is doing weights, you look like a jackass for people who don't know what that is.
I thought you just wanted to put your ass in the air.
I do want to put my ass in the air. And they're like,
yoga.
Could you get out of the shower, please, sir? And I said, I pay my dues here just like everyone else.
What are you doing in my shower?
Now grab that soap. I digress.
It's glued to the ground.
Yes, that's right. Then grab that soap. So here, I digress.
Please.
When I saw this woman about a month ago, she enigmatically came up to me and said, oh, hey, how are you doing? I said, hey, how are you? And she said,
so she's very friendly.
Very friendly.
Yeah, that's great.
And she'll come and compliment my weird exercises. I compliment her weird exercises.
Nice.
And she goes, hey, I saw that comment. No big deal. Don't even worry about it. I, Tyler, am a people pleaser. So I said, yeah, you got it. You got it. I didn't even, she walked away and I'm like, I have no idea what the hell she was talking about.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Sure. But like when somebody talks to you and you can't hear them and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
My father was just murdered. Great.
Wow, that's incredible. I'll talk to you later. So this time she comes up to me again. I wasn't even thinking about that. And I go, hey, how are you doing? And she goes, oh, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. And she goes on to explain to me that somebody recorded her doing her exercises and put it on a page on Instagram called Do You Even Lift? With a blue check mark, which I imagine is a big deal.
What the fuck is that though? Don't record people while they're in moments of their lives like that and putting it up on it. Like, was
Tyler,
it like, what?
I want to introduce you to something you're not going to like.
What's that?
It's called the internet, Tyler.
No, I know.
It is replete with people recording other people and doing mean things.
And we should call it out every single time.
I agree with you.
Do not normalize it.
I agree with you. But damn, was it funny. I mean, it was a funny video, Tyler.
So,
no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, Jesus.
No, I'm joking around. As a matter of fact.
So what was the original comment? What does she mean? I saw your comment. And
I will get to that. At LA Fitness, there was a model, a quote unquote model of some sort that recorded a woman in like the steam room and put it on Instagram making fun of her.
I remember that.
And they're
body shaming her.
Body shaming her. Yes. And it was a big deal. And there's actually signs on the windows and stuff at LA Fitness addressing that.
Saying don't record people?
If you record people without their blah, blah, blah. So anyway, there's also a sign that tells you what to do in case of an active shooter. So there's a lot of signs that I got to read. I haven't caught up on all of them.
What are we doing?
But also, don't record an active shooter, Tyler, because they will sue you.
I was going to say, what happens if I get my wires crossed?
Why is that active shooter naked? This is strange. So to make a long story short, somebody recorded it. Now, somebody went into the comment section of that thing.
I already don't like where this is going.
With my name.
Oh, what?
And my picture. And
what?
Said, and forgive my wording, I'm passing on what this woman said to me just so that we could bleep it if we want.
Please.
They wrote, that's fucking retarded. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right.
No, I think that's okay to say because we were talking about it. We're obviously not calling anybody.
Of course. And that's what this woman said to me.
Wow.
So
what?
Now I'm glad that you're saying that because here's the deal.
The internet is terrible.
Internet, you son of a bitch.
It's what did they call it? A failed experiment?
Absolutely.
It's a failed experiment.
If we had leaned more on the kitten videos, I think everything would. I was smitten with kitten. And here we are. I'm calling some lady F and R word, Tyler.
That's terrible.
Now, here's where the funny is. That was a long road into the funny.
There's funny.
I am now trying to explain to this woman that a comment from our gym that we go to with my name and my picture wasn't me.
Yeah.
I am, and you know me, bro. Yeah. I am such a people pleaser that I am devastated by this news. Also, I'm going through it in my mind. All of these things are happening. I'm there with my son.
Well, and it's not even a joke gone awry. It is literally somebody saying something terrible to another person in your likeness.
And the implications
It's terrible.
of somebody having an account with my name and my picture.
Oh, that's easy to get. You can do that at any time.
Sure, just go copy my Grindr account. You could paste that anywhere.
Don't suggest
Facebook.
people do that.
Facebook.
Just suggest people do that.
Tumblr sounds more like it, right?
There's plenty of gay porn on there, too.
Yeah, it's hard to meet dudes on Tumblr, though. I will tell you that. So, to make a long story short, and here's the funniest thing. If I did go onto a comment section and comment on this woman that's effing R word, and then she were to confront me about it, and she was very nice about it, by the way, while I could also tell that she was deeply hurt and her ego had been pushed, you know.
And the fact that you laughed about it on the first go around, I'm sure didn't help things.
Sure. I was so nonchalant about it. She's like, I saw your comment and I'm like, I bet you did. I hope you enjoyed it. Bang, bang, bang.
Giving her finger guns. Yeah, you did.
I mean, she must have thought that this guy is a sociopath.
Yeah.
So now on this time,
goodness.
If she did confront me with it, or you confront any sort of regular person, they would be like, that wasn't me.
Yeah.
And so I am literally saying to this woman, I can tell you don't believe me. And I understand why you don't believe me.
Of course not.
But I promise that was not me. And so she's going like this. She's like, it's okay. It's okay. And she's slowly backing away from me like the guy from Fallout, the cartoon character. It's okay. It's all right. And I'm like,
please.
Right. No. And I'm like, I can tell you don't believe me. And she's like, it's okay. Your picture was on there, but it's okay. I'm like, there you go. So that is my story about as a matter of fact, my son came over and in just like grasping at straws, I quickly told him the story so he could be like, oh, you would never do that. And I'm like, see, I would like to call this young man to the
RJ, back me up.
Yeah,
back me up.
RJ, social media. So anyway, I just thought that people could all laugh at me.
Why would somebody do that?
The internet is.
Does somebody hate you?
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, Tyler.
Do you have any enemies?
Many enemies. As a matter of fact,
Gotcha.
I was going to do the Stu Gatz joke of if I ever get killed, I have a list of 10 people to be investigated in my nightstand.
Did you go and see the photo of you in the comment?
Did. I saw the video, but I did not see my comment. I went looking for it.
Yes.
So
was it F&R word when you saw the video?
That's the whole thing about this woman is that she is doing crazy stuff.
Don't answer my question. It was clearly a joke. It was an F&R
What she's
word.
doing is very aerobic and very good for her hip flexors, and the people who commented all making fun of her don't know what the hell they're talking about. That's the whole deal.
Well,
what she's doing is very healthy. Look at her. She's 70.
And it's not just that. The people making fun of her are clearly insecure about their own
Some of it's funny though.
stuff going on. Well, it can be witty and comedic.
Some of it's
and
cute.
Still non-introspective.
And I will tell you this. You know what? I'll do it in the depression index.
Oh.
No one cares, you don't know what to
depression
do. The
index
world has
is a
all
machine
forgiven
that I
upon
built
you. You're
with my
only
hands,
supposed
and I
ride from
swear to you, I didn't make that comment, Tyler.
No, you know what? As much as I want to make the joke and go along with the other side of it, you're not hateful like that.
No way.
You're not hateful at all. We're not hateful people.
Not
That's
at
not like we're about to tell a racist joke and it's like look around for. No, we're really not hateful people.
I have a temper for sure, but I don't have that roiling inside of me. I will tell you this,
But
though.
temper isn't hateful.
The moment that yes, my anger is all for myself. The moment that she walked away, of course, I looked at my son. I'm like, I did that. And he's like, what? And I'm like, no, I'm kidding. I'm like, I said it.
I think with these jokes for your son, you are causing permanent damage.
Sure. I'm just trying to let him know that the world's a crazy place. Never let your guard down, kid.
And your dad's a sociopath.
That's why I named him my name in case I need to steal his identity easily at some point.
And his kidney and liver.
That's exactly right. Tyler, how are you feeling this week, player?
Feeling great, Ryan.
Great, man.
Feeling great. I've been getting
happy for you.
better week after week.
It's annoying.
Yeah. I've been.
I see right through it, Tyler.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you see how much pain I'm actually in?
Tyler, I'm telling you, before the fall comes the rise, and I will enjoy this.
Oh, rise.
Yes.
I like that. It has gotten to a point now where instead of me just being in pain, because what I used to say is I'm depressed.
Sure.
Where I was just depressed, like, hey, look at all of me. This is depressed.
This is, as a matter of fact, my son, during the quarantine, nicknamed you the Great Depression.
Yes, yeah, which is pretty witty.
I have never been prouder.
Pretty witty.
Yeah.
Well, when he started singing I Know a Girl Named Tyler all those years towards his uncle.
I met a girl named Tyler.
So instead of feeling pain as a whole, I'm beginning to specify it. Where now when I feel pain, it's not just, hey, I feel depression. It's, man, I feel this specifically. So the pressure is alleviating.
Let me ask you, what do you mean I feel this specifically? Like, what do you mean?
So when I'm sad, instead of me just going, man, I'm depressed, it's, man, I'm sad. What is it in my body that I'm feeling right now? And now it's, oh, man.
That's the thing.
Man, I need to get out and I need to move because I've been sitting here sedentary all day long, and now I'm able to actually put a name to it.
Why would you moving have anything to do with how you feel?
Oh, because working out, not even working out, just keeping your body. We creatures, we humans are meant to move. The sedentary lifestyle that we have built for ourselves is not natural to the way that we have evolved. So being sedentary, as I have been for so very long, causes mental issues. It literally goes against the evolutionary trait that is humans.
Well, this is disappointing news to get after I got these tank wheels attached to my torso, Tyler. What the fuck? Why did you tell me this now?
Well, I think as long as you keep buying upgrades for yourself, it will continue to fill that void.
Tyler, is this a love handle? Is this a love handle?
Yes. So this week, I'm just going to go right ahead and I am going to say that pain is a part of life. But it eases and it gets better. I promise. This week I'm at a 2.
You better get used to pain quickly, Tyler. Get in there.
1 and 2.
Oh, wow, that went quick.
Never done a 2 before, Ryan.
I wasn't really.
Never, ever. I'm really backed up.
Yeah. Oh, jeez, Tyler, you look like an older Elvis. I got to tell you.
So Elvis.
Ouch. Tyler, I want to further our discussion because I don't have anything here for Depression Index. I want to further our discussion based on, you said, why would somebody go on the internet and use their anonymity, gay it up by the way, to be cruel? And it kind of relegates me back to this conversation that we've had so many times on this show. Why would people want to use, a space? The internet has given us all this opportunity to be cruel and be anonymous. So you can just you can wail on someone emotionally and then slip off into the darkness.
Well, and they so very often go hand in hand. It's being given the ability to be anonymous but allows people to be their worst selves.
And why do people bite on that so often?
Because it's a high.
It is. My question is, this moral baseline that you and I have talked about so much, are people inherently evil? I know we'll never come to an answer on that, but
I don't think so, no.
Okay. I mean, we seem to be trending in that direction with, let's get back to the damn cat videos, ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever seen a cat playing a piano? It's delicious. Excuse me.
What?
No, I know.
You ever have cat legs before? They're delicious.
I've never been good at that. It's the other white meat, Tyler, cat? Yeah, did you know that? So anyway,
you're going all kinds of weird places today.
It just worries me that when people can be mean and they won't be discovered, very often they take it. And have we always been that way, or are we trending in that direction?
Well, I think that we're going through the transition of evolution. I think the internet, I think technology is forcing us to evolve. Because again, when we talk about evolution, for the kooks out there who believe that sort of thing, I ain't no monkey, that over the years, over a millennia, over millions of years, it is a very, very, very slow process, at least from the perspective of humans. Now you have technology, you have computers, you have the internet, where it is the opposite. Our very slow, very methodical brains are not built to take in all of this information, and it's having a very negative effect on our mental health.
Well, some could argue that the advancements of technology is actually slowing down, if not halting, our evolutionary process. Tyler, have you ever seen that documentary, WALL-E? Have you seen that?
I have.
Because it's coming, Tyler. No,
we're going to get tiny little robots that clean up after us?
No, you're thinking of The Fifth Element, Tyler. Now the whole thing is, now the thing is that it's to some degree is because isn't evolution, I guess it's in our brains as well, but it's also physical. Some of that is being slowed down by convenience. You know what I mean? And now, as I've said on the show before, evolution is a choice at this point.
Yes, but that's evolution, where now we are losing certain things, but we're also gaining other things.
Technology is evolving, not us, man.
But we're evolving technology.
And well, one day it may not look that way. And that scares the shit out of me, Tyler.
You and I are in agreement on that.
Yes, we are evolving technology until we aren't anymore.
Correct.
And then technology is evolving technology. And on that day, I will be whatever they want me to do, whatever you need from me. This week, I'm at a 4, Tyler.
Whoa!
One, two, three, 4. Ouch.
Yeah, spin that wheel.
Why do you rub your nipples whenever I spin that wheel, Tyler?
No particular reason.
Goodness.
They're
Somebody
chafed.
give me a Band-Aid, Tyler, because
I'm running a lot.
we need to get in.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I know. And we actually don't have anywhere that far to go. We're going out to Florida, Tyler. Get in my canoe.
You know what? That works.
Right?
That works.
Am I right?
We're already here.
This is perfect anyway, because I am going to tell you a crazy story, okay? I'm going to tell you a story about a mother and son who are traveling. This is distracting.
It very much is.
Oof.
And that's some terrible paddling. I can tell you right now. They're just splashing their paddles in the water.
We're going in circles, Tyler. You're not doing this right.
You only brought one oar.
Have you ever, do you like canoeing?
No.
I love canoeing.
Yeah.
I truly do. It's one of my favorite things. We're going down to Peace River here in Florida. Some of my earliest childhood memories. Rope swings, incredible.
Rope swings are fun.
So much fun. But I really do like canoeing. Tyler, you won't believe this. I'm great at it. So a mother and son are traveling the turnpike. And when you're, I drove up to Universal recently. When you're traveling down the turnpike, it was in Miami. It was actually in Miami. I should have done the Latin music. What's the worst thing that could happen to you when you're driving down the turnpike? As far as your fears, what's the worst thing that could happen?
A meteor crashes out of the sky and hits me directly through the skull, but it's not huge. It's this tiny little piece, but it doesn't kill me outright. And I slam into a wall, and then I'm a vegetable for the rest of my life.
That is exactly what happened to Nieves Matos,
Holy
bro.
shit, man.
Have you seen this story?
I would imagine that the answer you're looking for is somebody crashes into you.
No,
and you die in a fire.
They lost control of their vehicle and went into a retention pond. What is a retention pond? I probably should have done some investigation there. Sorry
I feel
about
like
that.
we're learning this together.
Sure. Maybe it's what we're canoeing through right now.
It was a red flag when you didn't know the location of the story.
Is that weird?
It's right here in Miami.
Here's my thing. When we get on here, I like...
Holy shit, I know this girl.
Mom?
Is it you?
I am presenting this not only to you, not only to the audience, Tyler, but I'm presenting it to myself.
We'll never be able to call ourselves professionals if this is how we behave.
I'm just playing the part of the audience, Tyler, and the audience doesn't know shit. Now, if you saw somebody go into a retention pond, what would you do?
A retention pond is something that
Let's just call it a pond.
Retaining something.
Sure, water.
Sure.
What would you do if you saw somebody go into a pond?
Oh, man, I would love to say, depending on how deep it is, I would jump in after them to try to make sure they get out of the car, but I've never been in that situation before.
How deep would you need for it to not be, for you to stop yourself? Double negative.
No, it's not about how deep. I'm saying if it was shallow enough where I don't have to jump in, that's the ideal situation.
They're really in a pretty mildly deep puddle.
It's up to their shoulders, so I think they're okay.
Well, witnesses dove in to save them, which is what you like to hope that you would do, of course.
It's one of those situations where they offer you, what would you do blank for $1 million? You could say yes or no, but it's really hard to tell until you're looking at $1 million.
Save my son for $1 million. So they dove in, they were there, and police followed.
Okay.
That's when they realized that the waters were, as it says here in the article, teeming with alligators.
Oh, no.
They could be present. They could be in the area. You do not want them to be teeming, Tyler.
I would assume there is a certain radius.
Je ne sais quoi.
No, right.
Oh, forgive me.
There's a certain radius you want to keep, a distance you want to keep from alligators,
Sure.
especially teeming alligators.
No. Well, do you know what teeming means?
Meaning they're going like in a frenzy almost?
No, teeming means that they're all over the place. That the water is filled.
Gotcha.
Right. No,
whatever, man. They could be the most chill alligators in the world. I don't want to go near them.
So what did the cops do in this situation, Tyler?
They killed them.
They called in snipers. They called in snipers to sit near the water, had them trained on the rescuers as they rescued the mother and the son. The son later died, but they protected the rescuers from the alligators with sniper rifles.
What did
Tyler.
the son die from?
Just a crash.
Oh,
Yeah, apparently driving into a lake is not good for the human body.
Yeah, I guess the water wasn't very deep.
Sure.
It would have caught him.
No, I don't think that's true.
How tall is the bridge?
And that is the get in.
That's unfortunate. So these people were in the car waiting for snipers to arrive?
No, they were in the car. The people went in and they recognized that the alligators were there and they needed to figure out some way to protect them.
But what I'm saying is that they're there in the car. The victims are there in the car and the snipers are not here yet. So there is a period of time where these people are in the car waiting.
No, people went in before they recognized how many alligators were in there.
Okay. Well, brave of those people and good on you. I mean,
Sure.
that's nutty.
That's why I don't rescue people, Tyler.
Oh, that's why.
That's why. I'm plenty brave. I'll tell you that right now.
Ryan, why didn't you run into that house fire and save him?
Good
there could be alligators in there, man. Are you
Tyler,
crazy?
They've been known to be arsonists in this area. Let's go ahead and let's look into that, Tyler. Let's take a break. And when we come back,
Smart.
we'll talk about new things. What's going on, everybody? Ryan Menendez here. Now, I know that you're such a fan of this podcast, you already know it, but part of this advertising is me explaining shit to you that you already know. Buckle up! So much of this podcast is based on me being a total kook. Now, a bunch of people have reached out to me, and they have let me know that they want to be a kook too. Now, this isn't something that you just stumble on. It doesn't happen by accident. You gotta put in practice. 10,000 hours, am I right? So what you need to do is read the books that I read. Now, what we've done is we have signed up to work with Audible so you can read the books to become a kook like me. THOSEGUYSYOUHATE.com. Now, here's what Audible wants. They want for you to go over there and get a free book that I'm offering you so you can read, you could get on board, you could sink below the waters and end up in the same place that I am. And what they're hoping is that you'll get that free book, you'll sign up, and then you'll forget to unsign up, and then they can charge you at least once, okay? You know it, I know it, we all know it. Beat the system by breaking that contract before that happens, or stay with them and continue to learn and grow and flourish like a big boy. So if you go to THOSEGUYSYOUHATE.com right now, all of my reading recommendations are there. You could sign up and get the book for free, and then you have 30 days to cancel your membership, and you don't get beat on the deal. You know you won't because you're lazy. That's why you haven't moved out of your parents' house. We love you. Thank you for supporting Those Guys You Hate, and let's get back to the show.
Those guys.
Now, hopefully, the world is turned around a little bit, and the people who are being that divisive now kind of don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's an ebb and flow, just like everything else in the universe. And these things have a balance and counterbalance to them.
I love it.
You're gonna swing it. What do you love? What are you loving right now?
You hate.
I love, you saying the things that you said specifically. I love when the show moves from that thought. I wasn't listening.
Yeah.
When we edit,
Yeah.
we hear this a lot where I have statements that I use to just move on to the next thing. I appreciate you calling me out for it. I'm gonna fucking beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, that's
Don't
fine.
ever
That's
do that
fine.
again.
Let the world know what's going on behind the scenes.
Well, hey, keep up the good work and you're dead.
Those guys you hate. Guys you hate. Guys you hate. Guys you hate. Guys you hate.
No problem.
Red circle. You did not wait for the red circle.
Oh, I got confused, Tyler. Thank you. Red Circle, always there for us. I saw a commercial on TV, and the only way that I see commercials now is at a bar where there is no sound. So I can never hear any of these things. I know what everybody's talking about all the time, but I have no information on what they're talking about.
Yeah, just to be in the know, I like to make sure I take a break from Netflix every hour or so and just sit down and just watch commercials.
There is actually a way that you could pay money to get commercials on Netflix.
What?
Yes, well worth the $14.
Is there any way that I
week.
could have all those movies and garbage TV shows taken out and it just be commercials?
Absolutely. I think they have squiggly porn on there, whatever it is you're looking for.
Awesome.
Now, I saw one where it says, it's a black screen with white letters, football is gay, Tyler. Football is gay.
Okay.
What's your, I'm sure they're doing that for for an impact. People see that, it's stark, literally and figuratively. What's your response when you see football is gay?
Well, I found it weird how much of an emphasis you put in the A in gay. Gay.
It's an audio medium, Tyler.
Second of all, it's a bunch of dudes banging into each
Sure.
other. It's the gayest thing I've ever seen. Minus MMA, which is they're just wrapping their arms around each other.
Just take those little trunks off and we're there.
I see you whispering sweet nothings
Sure.
into his ear.
Sure. That's the gayest. But football's pretty gay.
It's pretty gay.
You got a lot of tight ends and you got butt smacking. All of this has been chronicled.
A fullback.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And so you see football as gay, and not just that. It, of course, has the added level of it's a hyper masculine environment, right?
And this is a commercial from the NFL?
Sure.
Oh, okay. So they're putting their name on, hey, forget all that other stuff we said in the past.
Sure. Yeah.
We gay now, dog.
Football is gay, except for our players. I mean, hey, you're all good. No, it's very much like, Tyler, have you heard of Colin Kaepernick?
Name rings a bell.
Sure.
He did something with something?
Yep. He got tired in the middle of the national anthem, caused the whole deal. I told you to eat your carbs.
You feel how hot it is out here?
Yeah.
I gotta sit down for a second.
Don't do that. No, so and here's the reason that I bring that up. He created such a controversy where the NFL fought him tooth and nail for such a long time. And then all of a sudden you had quarantine and you had George Floyd and you had all of these different things that shifted the way that society has become intolerant of intolerance.
Yep.
And all of a sudden the NFL's like, excuse me for a moment. We would like to take that back. Colin Kaepernick, get on in here.
Yeah. Roger Goodell, the not the CEO, he's the commissioner of the league. It is really funny to watch him come out and what's that PR guy? Yep. He says we were wrong on the Colin Kaepernick stuff. So yeah, we were wrong. Sorry, guys.
I've never seen somebody backpedal in such a nice suit.
Crazy.
And so what's happened now is the public sentiment with how we deal with gay people, even in the hyper-masculine locker room, that will no longer be accepted. What I think the kids are calling gay bashing, Tyler.
I say we bring it back. I say,
let's use it for good.
I say we take all the gay people, we line them up, and we spank them until they're not gay anymore. That'll show them those gayos.
If you guys need anybody to test run this idea. So basically, they're now working in conjunction with something called the Trevor Project, okay? So they put a stat up on and it said football is gay, football is lesbian, football is bang, 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 bang. All of these things that you would consider alternative to the manly, hyper-masculine football environment. And they're really leaning into being accepting.
I think another aspect to that is some of the athletes. While nobody's coming out as gay, these are millennial athletes. So now they're in touch with their emotions. They're not scared to cry. They're, all of these be a man things from the past just don't apply to the people these days.
Why do you think that's seeing such a shift?
Well, because we've been growing. I mean, imagine how our parents were. They didn't even invent happiness back then.
Yeah.
Everybody's so stoic in photos in black and white because they were fucking miserable.
Well, they were a day away from death, Tyler.
Every day.
Sure. Well, and I think that's very interesting. Now, and I'm venturing into a different place. If we're all getting so in touch with our feelings and all these different things, why is children's suicide on the way up in such an extreme fashion?
Because it's terrifying. And because there aren't people, there are a lot of the parents, our parents are one of them, who didn't know that way of speaking, who didn't know, hey, look inward and check in on your emotions and find out, why do I feel this way?
Don't do it, by the way.
And seriously.
It's like saying Bloody Mary 3 times. Don't do it.
You and Bloody Mary. You have such a weird relationship with it.
I've always been so scared, but is it real? I don't know.
You've said it at least 8 times. 9 times.
Nobody cut that up and put it together, honestly. You'll wish you didn't. But so here is where I want to get. So I went to the Trevor Project website because I wanted to check it out. I wanted to have some information on it.
What is it?
It basically is where you're seeing, it kind of goes hand in hand with this don't say gay kind of thing, where it's trying to make kids who are from the LGBTQ plus.
Nailed it.
Community. And how much, what a tumultuous journey that is. A resource for them to go to that's just going to make you a little bit gayer is my assumption.
Okay. So they up the gay factor a little bit.
The first thing that you see, which I found to be very interesting and kind of a signpost in the middle of something like this, the first thing they tell you, not an advertisement, not an ask for a donation, not whatever you would assume the first thing would be, triple tap, because I was looking on my phone, triple tap at any time to close this site. So in other words, if a parent comes in or something like that, it's an emergency way off. And that kind of tells you a little something, doesn't it?
I've told you in the past, one of the things that you will hear more often than not when a kid comes out to the therapist is followed by, please don't tell my dad.
Sure.
It is such a common thing for for kids to say, because it is not safe at home for that kind of stuff.
Well, and I would say, the people who are going to get really upset about the homosexuality are the people who have some of those urges. So I'm going to say it here flatly. All dads are gay. All of them. And I'm a dad. No, so they posted this stat, and it's really just what I wanted to read off here. LGBTQ youth who report having at least one accepting adult were 40% less likely to report a suicide attempt in the past year.
Shocker.
I'm just saying that
No, I agree with you. Yeah.
Football wants to be part, and I respect it. I know that football has a great PR guy, and they're always trying to stay on top of it. And people say, oh, they don't even really care. Can businesses care? By definition, can a business care about anything?
Yes.
I disagree. I disagree.
Businesses can't care?
I mean, a business's model is set up to make as much money as possible, isn't it? Unless you're in the business of not making the most amount of profits.
Sure, but aren't there businesses out there that prefer to go the moral route?
Sure, we call them failures, Tyler.
Yeah, super rare, I imagine.
Toms, suck my dick. These shoes are terrible.
Super rare, I will admit.
I'm sorry, Tom.
Wow, why'd you sideswipe Tom like that?
They're just ugly. They're ugly. No, I'm just kidding.
Why didn't you go after Crocs? Those are ugly.
I don't believe those are sustainable. We can only mine so much of that material, Tyler, and then the earth joyfully will be out of it.
All right.
So 40% less likely to commit suicide, leaning into that idea that we were talking about before, that childhood suicide is it's all the rage these days, Tyler.
Yeah. I wish it was back to Rage Against the Machine. It's Rage to My Death.
Sure.
I am for it's very much the argument of, would you have somebody do something nice for somebody else if that came with them wanting to record it and put it on the internet for points?
My answer is no. Yes, your hubris disgusts me. I would rather that person go hungry.
Get the F out of here.
You're wrong, Tyler.
Get the F out of here.
You sound like a fool.
I don't care how wrong the NFL has been in their past. If they are doing something good, then that is a good thing, regardless of what's been done.
It's too late now. Keep your billions of dollars. We know who you are.
Keep your money.
It's funny that you say that, because people's ego do really feed into that, where you just like, you're willing to forgo a nice act because it's not done the way that your ego wants it done.
And I was so very much like that. Like, oh, you're going to go after upvotes on the internet for this shit? Don't even do it. It's a ridiculous thing. That person who just had something nice done for them doesn't give a fuck if it's on the internet. This homeless person just got money. They don't give a fuck why you gave them money.
I couldn't disagree more, Tyler. The NFL hates the military, and we all know it. We all know it. Blue Angels, get out of here. Scat. Get out of here. Scat, y'all.
That's an interesting take you're putting out there.
you know what? We need to corner the market on some of these things. I feel like we're just an echo chamber. Let's start saying things.
You're nailing it.
Yes.
You're nailing it.
All right, Tyler. Good, bad, and interesting me.
You're the king segues.
That was good, wasn't it?
You nailed it.
That was pretty good.
You really threw me through a loop.
I also think the NFL hates crippled people.
Why? You ever seen a crippled person on a field?
Are you telling me that of those thousands of people, one single handicapped person couldn't make a team?
Maybe they just have to hide it, like being gay. You can't be openly crippled in the NFL.
Can you call people cripples nowadays?
I think we're inching ever closer towards the line of no, but I think we're still right there.
Okay, sorry about that, cripples.
Don't worry, they can't hear you. Right, and let's jump right into our good. I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, that's an OG sound right there. It's been
was that a clown horn?
A clown horn from a clown car.
Okay.
It's been 6 months, but the James Webb telescope is finally going to release its first fully colored images on July 12th. We are 1 month away.
Let's pretend that I have a terrible memory and I don't recall what this is.
That's okay. The James Webb telescope
is the next step on telescopes?
No, it's the one that was shot into space and is taking over for the Hubble telescope.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
When you speak of telescopes before, Hubble is always the first thing to come off the dome. This will now replace that.
Yeah, I don't know if the Hubble will still be in use. I mean, maybe.
I love the word Hubble.
Hubble, it is a good
It
word.
is good.
But this one is a much more upgraded telescope.
Of course.
And it has taken 6 months to set up because they had to drop it down to a very cold temperature, which took a little while. Just
the telescope itself?
Yes, just
before
to get,
launching it into space?
No. While it's in space, they had to wait till it dropped down to a specific temperature before any of the instruments would work.
Because it runs so hot, or?
Because it runs so hot, and that's how cold these instruments have to be.
It's crazy.
1 month away, I could not find what the first target will be, but the director of the program, and this makes sense, said that the first images, they really want to show what the telescope can do. So here's to hoping that there are going to be some fucking amazing photos.
I think you should use it to zoom in on my Venus. Wait, I could have done that better. I think you should take some hog shots of my Venus. I was formulating that while you were talking. Was it worth it?
Let's say yes.
Thank you.
Ryan, into our bed. Ugh. That's one of my favorites.
When you make that sound in front of my son, he will throw up. Just doing that. Sure. The hot spit sound.
Ryan, for our bad, other than that sound, unions, or rather, lack thereof.
I never truly understood what a union was. Like if workers at a specific occupation unionize, what does that mean?
It means they group together and they have now become a, let's call it organization, who is now represented by a team of lawyers, or a lawyer, however big the team is.
Okay.
And so when you know what, let me just jump right in. I actually explain it right here. It's something I wrote here, you hear more and more of these days, but something that you may not know exactly what a union is. Right now, we live in a society, technically true, where bosses,
for now, Tyler,
where bosses make rules and the employees have to abide by them.
Sure.
That's it. Time off, pay structure, even reprimanding, generally speaking, is left up to the discretion of whomever is in charge.
Sure. I always think of baseball. The baseball union to me is they're the ones who killed Hoffa, right?
I don't know about that.
Do I have that right?
I don't know about that.
Well, he's buried under a stadium, Tyler, so.
You heard it here first, folks.
Is that irresponsible journalism?
I think the statute
Who am I looking at right now?
I think the statute of limitations has passed. I think you're okay.
Yeah, I always think of the baseball union because that's the union that's brought up in my stratosphere the most, where they decide how a player can be reprimanded, and they have a very strong union.
Just like police. Police unions are some of the most powerful.
Really?
Because, look at, and I don't mean to take it there, but whenever a cop does something really bad or even illegal, he can quit the department he's at and go get another job somewhere else. The unions are so powerful.
Interesting.
But a labor union is a team of workers represented by, like I said, an attorney or team of attorneys. Every time a decision is made, you have a representative sitting in the room with these people fighting for your rights in your all-around quality of life. So when the boss says, oh, if somebody drops a drink, that's a week time off. And now you have a lawyer or a team sitting there going, no, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, what good is it being the boss then? I fire you. You're gone.
You don't get to do that.
Well, then I'm not really the boss then. What am I doing here?
And that is where we come to.
Okay, great.
You just said the words
Thank you.
right.
Well, what good is having power if I can't get rid of the people who oppose me, Tyler? Oh, jeez.
You would make such a good politician.
Or world leader. Blackback this man.
But a labor union, or excuse me, corporations are doing everything they can to break up these efforts. The Starbucks in Victoria, Canada is this week's example.
They have Starbucks in Canada?
Don't do that. That's a different show.
Sorry about that.
In Victoria, Canada, the Starbucks there has won their union vote.
So they're doing this just inside of a store?
One store. It is store after store after store.
If I am the boss inside Victoria's Starbucks, I am sitting there like, you motherfuckers, bro. You're gonna rise up against me, the bean master?
Correct. The Bean Master?
I'm Mexican, Tyler.
Oh, and you work at a coffee store.
Thank
That's
you
perfect.
very much. And I'm Spanish. I think I can make that joke.
You're Cuban. You're not Spanish.
Okay, then I'm cutting out that Mexican joke. You outed me, and I don't want it in anymore.
Hey, you know
Tyler.
what? For 98% of the people that can hear this, they don't know the difference, so you're okay.
I don't know the difference.
Okay, let's move on.
Yes.
Normally, what a corporation like this does is, oh, you know what? This store, it's not selling that well, so we're just going to shut it down. That's what Amazon does. Oh, the warehouse just won a union vote. Shut that shit down.
Wow, now
and
that
burn it down.
is power.
That is
power. That is whoever chooses that, that's the boss.
And
Yeah.
it's supposed to be super fucking illegal.
Yeah, well, whatever. The guy who's doing it is like an old buddy of mine. Like he's a good
And that right there is the fucking problem.
Dude, Tom's a good dude. Just meet him. Just meet him and then you'll understand.
You love him.
And his 4 girlfriends.
So what did Starbucks do? Because now it's becoming a trend.
Sure.
Where 10 Starbucks so far from in US and Canada collectively have unionized. It is catching like wildfire.
This is what the Hunger Games was about, I think.
Correct.
Uh-huh.
So what does Starbucks do? They can't just start shutting down all of these stores.
I mean, there's one leasing the spot right next to the one they just closed down.
That's true. But you can only make it so obvious that you're shutting this down. Eventually, someone's going to step in and be like, what the fuck, guys?
Well, because once the public gets wrapped in on this, because the people at the top know how this all works.
Correct.
Yeah.
And they're all buddies, like you said. You don't think the Starbucks of CEO, the CEO of Starbucks doesn't make a phone call to somebody at the top and be like, yo, let's do something about this.
He loves Tom.
Loves Tom.
Loves Tom.
So Starbucks in Canada raised everybody's wage except for the union stores.
Oh boy, Starbucks.
It is a very, very effective union busting tactic. Do you know why?
Because people want to make more money.
Correct.
Yes.
So Starbucks can point to this and go, look, if you weren't in a union, you'd make more money. Look at that. Unions are keeping you from achieving higher wages.
And the only thing that would stop that from working is the people who are making more money to stop making more money.
Exactly right.
Which is why I go to a job, Tyler. What is this, freaking volunteer, like a soup kitchen?
So we need unions, much like voting. If the corporations weren't so terrified of this, they would not do everything in their power to keep it from happening.
I'm going to disagree. I know.
If you're just on a disagreeing spree today.
Disagree spree, name of the show.
Dis-a-spree.
What I am going to say is, just hearing all this information for the first time, and perhaps I'm making a snap decision. We need unions like we need journalism. Get that crap out of here, bro. We don't need people holding the people at the top. We don't need them holding their feet to the fire. They can obviously be trusted. That's why they made it to the top. If the best people get all the money, Tyler.
Are you secretly a billionaire and I don't know it?
I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
1 penny at a time.
Yes. If there's any CEOs, look, I am vengeful and I will do your work. I will do your work without,
Just let me go digging in between your couch cushions for some loose change.
But that's where we're really seeing the two sides hammer each other, where the people who are used to running amok are now being challenged in the Me Too, in all of these different venues that we're talking about, in journalism, and then you got the people at the top of politics saying journalism is full of shit.
Or fake news. That's the term now, fake news.
I never heard of that. That's good.
Yeah, it's very catchy.
You could use that. So it really is, I think we're seeing a lot of those, tsunamis hitting each other in a lot of different areas right now.
But this could be for the better. I mean,
there's a lot of Facebook.
Yeah. This could be for the better, though. We are now seeing the workers understand how we are being fucked and taking up arms, so to speak, and fighting for their rights.
Well, maybe this is kind of like you alluded to earlier, when you go through some sort of big change inside of yourself, it can be tumultuous. It can be a very tough time for you. Maybe we're going through that as a species.
Very true. And we always have moments like this in our history. But the power shifts, just like a pendulum. It's always moving, and those with power will fight tooth and nail to not give up that power. But change is inevitable.
If I were up there, if I was one of the Bill Gates, if I was one of them, I would
go on.
I would eradicate humankind before I would change.
But who would make you your money?
I don't care. As long as I get the last laugh, don't give a damn.
By burning it all down.
That's right.
And I will dismount off of this bad by just saying, if you enjoy a 5-day work week instead of a 7-day work week, if you enjoy child labor laws where you cannot have children under a certain age working their literally their fingers bloodied, and if you enjoy all the rights you currently have as a worker, 40-hour work week is another, thank unions.
Sure.
Thank unions, Ryan. I do what I tell you.
Well, thank you, unions. Sorry. And I think that we're starting to see that there has to be some sort of a differentiation. Life can't just be work because it's killing people.
Yep. And while we die, they're shooting their dicks into space. Ryan, for our interesting...
I have never fucked a loaf of bread. Do something to the crust to make it a little bit more, succulent and soft, maybe cut a hole. But wouldn't it be interesting to fuck a loaf of bread?
I'm probably going with a banana nut bread. It's something with some moisture, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but because of the nuts, it would cut you up.
Undercooked cinnamon roll.
Bloop. What about just raw cookie dough?
Okay, so that's, you know what?
Let's move on.
Yes.
Let's move on.
I've got a salmonella joke.
All right, Ryan. Our interesting this week is also a PSA for your ASS. You're welcome.
Wait, don't I have a sound for that?
You might.
Hold on.
I don't touch your board. You scare me when I get near it. That is a good sound.
There you go. So clean.
An unidentified 25-year-old woman from Ohio got a big heaping dose of fuck around and find out this week, Ryan.
That's always been one of my favorite sayings that's gone the way of yesteryear.
We can bring it back.
Well, that one and on fleek.
And I don't like that one. You know where she was, Ryan? Yellowstone National Park.
I would love to go to Yellowstone National Park.
I am not an outdoorsman, but I would also enjoy Yellowstone.
Pristine nature, Tyler.
Yeah. Until the humans fuck it up. On a related note, from everything I just said, Ryan.
Sure.
Did you know that the average bison, America's largest mammal, grows on average to weigh anywhere between 1,000 and 2,000 pounds? That's 450 to 900 kilos, Ryan.
It's 2 tons, isn't it?
No, 2,000 pounds is 1 ton.
Okay, 1 ton. Yeah,
That's a ton of mammal.
That's big, and we've almost hunted them into extinction.
Yes.
Man, we're just a downer this show. All we do is we just point out all of our problems.
You mean our species problems?
We invented string cheese. Does anybody ever talk about that?
They do. They make fun of it.
Oh, really? You don't like string cheese?
No, I prefer real cheese.
If my kid said that to me, I'd be like, bye, son.
That's the humor you come here for first, folks, right?
Sorry, I apologize.
I just tripped up all
Give
over
it
myself.
again.
We're gonna cut all that out.
Do it again.
Tyler, why did you bring up the bison thing?
Why did you?
Well, the bison approached the walkway. An unnamed Ohio woman approached the bison.
Now, was this a selfie scenario?
Yes.
Okay, great.
The woman was then gored and thrown 3 meters through the air. That's 10 feet.
We have a zoo down here called Zoo Miami, a beautiful zoo. If you ever come down to Miami, it's probably not on your list of things to do, but I suggest it.
It's a great zoo.
Ron McGill, who is, the ambassador over there, tells you all the time, don't approach animals. This isn't a Disney movie, bro. They're not going to dress you and sew up your shirt. You do not approach a bison. It is 2 tons.
Who did you see him for? Oh, these mice at the top of the stairs.
That's exactly
right.
They
nailed it. Well, as far as I can tell, the woman survived. But the word of the week this week, thank you, Ryan, for leading me into this, is wild. As in, wild animals won't hesitate to kill you.
Yes, they want to.
Keep your distance. Do not interact with them. And as always, keep your fucking distance.
Yeah. In selfies, nobody gives a shit what you're doing, bro. They just want you to look at their shit.
That's right. As a matter of fact, you know what? No more selfies.
That's it.
No more selfies. Well, that's it. Cancel those cameras on the front of your phone. No need for it.
There's so many people who have died taking selfies. Perhaps that's something worth investigating.
That's just nature taking out the the non-aware ones.
Absolutely, but I'm sure, and I guess it's so easy to highlight selfies just because it's such a new invention to some degree
and annoying.
Yeah, not everybody feels.
You're
that
not
way.
actually holding up the Leaning Tower of Pisa, okay? I know that's just the difference in distance. Get out of my face with that.
Tyler's gonna edit it out, but he started with the Eiffel Tower, and if you do an Eiffel Tower correctly, you're holding each other up. So the fact of the matter is,
you're not doing an Eiffel Tower right. You're not supposed to be supporting each other's weight. You're just high-fiving in the middle.
No.
Yes.
No, I'm doing
You're holding hands?
Dude, we're like an uppercase A, Tyler.
Dude, I'm gay, and that's the gayest thing I've ever heard. That was super gay.
Oh, dude. Sometimes there's not even a girl there.
The woman never came.
So, hey, be aware when you're taking these selfies, just don't kill yourself. I think that's fair.
And listen to the experts. They say with bison and another animal, I forget which.
Hippopotamus.
Always, no, you do not want to be near a hippopotamus.
No.
With bison and with other animals, you want to be 50 yards away. And with bears, you want to be 100 yards away.
Bears, you want to be back in your hotel room. Okay, if you're out there chilling with bears.
You can't go to Yellowstone and not expect bears, Ryan. Bears live there. That's a bear's home.
I got to tell you, even with these tank wheel legs, I'm still feeling a bit exposed. If I could be honest.
My money's on the bear still.
I keep thinking of the guy from Twisted Metal. Do you remember the guy from Twisted Metal?
You mean the clown?
No, the guy with the two
wheels.
Anyway,
the two wheels.
I digress.
And that, Ryan, is GBI. Guys, seriously, they're wild animals. You know, that's going to be my moral of the story. So we can, we can move on.
We'll get back to it. Tyler, great job this week.
Thank you.
Got in here. We got it done.
We did.
Please tell people how they can get in touch with us.
THOSEGUYSYOUHATE.com. Please click on the buttons and click on that.
Say sup.
Yeah, please. Sup, dog. A little voicemail button on the bottom of the screen if you want to send us your well wishes and nice things.
We anticipate it. Tyler, great job to you. And I will ask you, what's the moral of the story, buddy?
Well, Ryan, you're not going to see this coming, but the moral of the story is wild animals are called wild for a reason.
Would they have been okay in that bison scenario if they had a couple more snipers, Tyler? Think about that.
Unless you're working with like a 50 caliber, I'm not even entirely sure you could kill a bison with a sniper. Well, maybe you could, but they are, for anybody who doesn't know relative size of a bison, they are huge.
That's a big boy.
It's huge.
Yep.
So please, seriously, guys, even if you see a dog you don't know, don't approach it. It's an animal.
I would agree.
Ryan, what's the moral of the
let
story?
it smell your butt first.
So don't approach it. Just give it your most vulnerable area.
Don't approach it. Get down on your hands and knees like as somebody who knows what they're doing.
Like somebody like me at the gym. Just get down and put your butt in the air.
Sure, it's all about energy, man.
Ryan, what's the moral of the story?
The moral of the story this week is acceptance, man. Acceptance of you, acceptance of your gay kids, acceptance of all of these different, aspects that don't resonate with you, and we could save lives. I mean, that stat that I gave about football really stood out to me. I know stats can be kind of morphed and changed to tell whatever story you want.
Mm-hmm.
But if we could make anybody's life a little bit more bearable, if we could make our own lives a little bit more bearable by accepting the things that aren't exactly the way that we want it, I would love to use this as a sounding board for that. You're making a face.
Yeah, I mean, they're gay. I mean, where do we draw the line?
Tyler's gay. That's why he could make that joke.
I said it like 5 minutes ago.
We are those guys you hate.
Be kind or we'll kill you. Red circle.
What's up, Tyler?
Not much, man. It was dog last time. This is our second time recording, and it was sup dog. Now I get sup Tyler.
I want to treat you with a little bit more respect here. Namaste, Tyler. How are you? Namaste down, bitch. Speaking of namaste, last night you went to a one of these meetings with your cult.
I did.
you?
One of my sex cult where we don't have sex. It's like the worst thing ever.
It's just incels hanging out.
Yeah.
Just playing computer games.
Yeah.
What was it last night? I'm asking you on the show. I hope this is not too intrusive of me.
What? We're on the show right now?
You said red circle.
Oh,
but I think that it's something interesting that not a lot of people would have insight to, and also something that's benefited you. What did you do last night? If I may be so intrusive, like I said.
I went to a dinner last night and we welcomed people into our cult. Not really a cult. Welcome people into it's group therapy. All it is group therapy. And when people start the program, people who have been in the program for a while, welcome them. It's just a welcoming like dinner sort of thing.
I get it.
Yeah.
I got stuck on something while you were talking about it. You said cult. What defines a cult? Isn't a church a cult by definition?
Sure. Isn't cult short for culture? I mean, I think that's the,
Sure.
I
so
think,
like yogurt and whatnot. No, it is, but it is kind of hard to define what that is. Perhaps this is a cult, but I think a lot of things are.
well, I think it's the difference between a fan and a fanatic. Fan is short for fanatic, but you don't think of a fan as a crazy person.
And it almost sounds like fun.
Yeah,
right.
almost.
Exactly.
I think it's just how intense you take it and how, I think once it becomes violent, then we've entered a bad area.
But what is your definition of violence?
No.
though? You know what I'm saying?
No, this isn't a conversation I'm having with you.
Where it's a gray, almost a crimson red area.
When you are oddly specific, when you are forcing your will on another person and they don't enjoy it.
Sure.
That's it.
And that's why you have to trick them into thinking they enjoy it. Tyler. That's the whole deal.
Lots of duct tape, Ryan.
You got to lay down
Lots
the
of duct
groundwork
tape.
and in plastic sheeting like Dexter.
Correct.
You're absolutely right. No, but it is group therapy and it is very interesting and it would seem alternative to a lot of people, but it's just empowering people to treat themselves with respect. Is that oversimplifying?
Yeah, it's just all it is digging out all those repressed emotions that we've kept inside for our entire lives. I'm very fortunate. I got started at the age of 28, but I've worked with people in their 70s and their 80s, as a matter of fact, who arrive at the end of their life and realize they've achieved everything they've wanted to achieve. One guy is a surgeon. Another guy was I don't remember. And all they're like, man, I have everything I could want. I have all the money. I have everything. And my kids don't talk to me.
Russell Brand says somewhere, I believe, I'm paraphrasing something that I may be making up. I hope that everybody gets exactly what they want so they realize that's not the answer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even we talked about last week, that book by Mitch Albom, the guy from Tuesdays with Morrie. He's achieved so much success and found out that's not it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that. I love that as a story.
Yeah, I think life is all about going after things that really matter, things that can be sustained, not things that can be achieved. An example is like, man, I really want to move forward in life being more kind. Kind isn't a destination. It's just, or I want to be more honest. These are things that we actively have to work on every day.
Sure. There is no end in it.
None. But if your goal is, man, I want that new car.
I want to get my lies down to 4 a day. If I could just, I don't want to do a whole pack.
That's something.
That's exactly right.
That's something. But if a goal is, I want to get this job, I want to get this car, and that's where it ends.
But just this next car, though. Yeah. Once I get the next car,
that's right.
I'll be good, I assume.
There's a specific number of cars that once you achieve, you're golden.
That's exactly right. And it better be 14 because, damn it, I feel empty. Speaking of cars,
pay
Tyler,
rent, please.
No, thank you. Okay. Unless you're giving me back the car, this specific car. Speaking of cars, because I am the king of segues.
Oh, I thought you were
Yes.
going to say cars. I was like, you and I don't know shit about cars.
I do not. And I would prefer keep it that way. When somebody tells me about a car, it's as if they're speaking in Latin.
Yeah.
I have no idea what a transistor is, and I don't want to.
Less sexy than Latin, though. Can we agree? Like, you're confusing me with words. Latin, you're confusing me, but at least I have an erection.
I have noticed that, and I wasn't going to bring it up like you did. But I would say that Latin to me sounds a little bit too, I don't like you're about to commit some sort of blood sacrifice. It doesn't roll off the tongue like French.
Well,
you know
that's
what I mean?
movies. And because of our current language, if you lived however many hundreds of years ago, that would have been the language of the common.
Of the people.
Of the
Yes,
people.
Exactly. In the middle of our blood sacrifices. Now, speaking of cars, like I did so eloquently when I was using that segue earlier, which you
Yes.
pushed me off of,
Yeah,
Tyler.
I did.
I want to examine what's at the core of human primal feelings, okay? And I think you can see it perfectly when it comes to what is it that's inside of us. I as we've alluded
Blood.
to already, crimson red blood. As you've alluded to already, I am on a journey to become like, I want to become an honest person, a kind person, all of these different things that you said.
Yeah.
But I find that when somebody wants to go faster than me on a highway, all of my evil feelings come out. Like, you don't deserve it. I'm keeping peace here on this highway. You're gonna kill somebody, dude. And you want to stop that person from doing so.
So now I'm going to actively drive in
What's
a manner,
up with that, Tyler?
in a manner that is unsafe to protect those around me,
Tyler.
as I actively make it more dangerous for everyone.
Have you ever been in 3 lanes at once while driving on I-95?
Rolling sideways,
It's
maybe.
hard. Yes. 2 wheels. No, but do you understand what I'm talking about? And I use moments like that to combat what we're talking about.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Sure. But you're like, there's something in you, a cat and mouse that wants to stop that person.
Yes, I understand that feeling. I would say to those that when you come out of that feeling, because you can't sustain it all the time. And if you are sustaining it all the time,
You live in South Florida.
go talk to somebody because you're about to explode.
Sure.
There are people, or excuse me, when you come out of that anger, when it finally dissipates just enough for you to gain your awareness back, as it were, because I know what you're talking about. You're seeing red when somebody cuts
I don't
you
want
off.
awareness. I'm very upset. I'll have awareness later.
I'm good here.
Sure.
And just a lot of people, it's easy. Most people, I would say, it's easy for them to just blow right by it. Stop thinking about it and move on until the next person cuts me off.
You
don't acknowledge it.
You think that's common? To let it go?
No.
Oh.
I'm saying get angry
Sure.
and then not acknowledge that you just got angry. It's just, we're just moving on with our day.
Well, you don't want to be angry. This person is making you angry.
Which is, first of all, bullshit.
Sure.
And second of all, when you finally do come out of that anger, analyze the anger, observe it, and just look at it. Don't, I got angry. I got angry again.
But
Weird.
you say that so flippantly, as I guess is the groundwork of this show.
I do not say it flippantly.
Most people hearing that is like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Mhm.
I wouldn't be angry if that person didn't do it to me. That's not my fault.
Oh, well, that's bullshit. Every feeling that we feel in our bodies is our responsibility. It's our choice. The idea of somebody else made me feel this way. My only question to you out there who thinks that way is, why in the world would you want to give somebody that kind of control and power over you? You saying those words, you doing that action causes me to act in a way that I don't want to act.
Well,
they literally have control over your body.
But you literally react to it. I mean, you have a reaction that you can't control. It's what you do with it. But anyway, we get lost in the minutia of all of this stuff.
But I disagree with you can't control it. I think you absolutely can control it. The idea of saying I can control it is just giving away responsibility.
But we can get sucked down by this. All I'm saying is that it's a habit that you've formed over time.
Oh, absolutely.
If you react to that, then at that point you can't control it. It's now, what are you going to do with those feelings?
Well, you know what I would say to that is it's very much like biting your nails. When you try to quit, you know how often I heard when I was younger, just don't think about it. No, it's the opposite. You have to keep your awareness on it. So when you quit biting your nails, you're going to bite at first.
Sure.
Don't get upset with yourself about getting upset at people. Just be aware of it and try to grow from that experience, as you alluded to earlier.
Okay. I'll try to remember that while I'm taking a hammer to this guy's bumper. I'll do my best.
for me to grow, dude.
Let me ask you something. Speaking of harder to grow, have you ever met somebody who bites their toenails? You bite your toenails?
Yeah, I used to. I used to, yeah. I raised my hand. This is a visual. This is not a visual medium.
No, and normally in that scenario, I would narrate what's going on, but I was thunderstruck. I was just as if a sonic boom had gone through me.
Well, because you started doing the neutral. Oh, I see.
I was mapping my exits from this room.
Yeah, I used to do that all the time.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's why I'm so flexible in my legs. I could pull my feet all the way up to my hips. I think that might be why, because throughout my life, I was pulling my feet up to my face.
The world's grossest yoga practice discovered by man.
Yeah. Thankfully, I've grown up.
Yeah, thankfully. Oh, jeez, I'm wobbly.
Still flexible, though.
I thought that, so he could go back. I could quit whenever I want.
Look, it's right.
The
desk is in the way.
All right, so Tyler just self-sucked his toe.
I didn't actually make contact.
Which I'm slightly disappointed about in some way.
Wait. I think I can. Hold on.
Okay, he's reaching.
Hold on.
He's reaching. It's a crescent.
Look, it's on my face.
He's hugging his big toe to his cheek, not unlike an infant with its favorite stuffed animal.
I just squeezed it like Lenny from...
just like Elvira from Tiny Toons. So, okay. Let's move on. I'm honestly feeling weak.
Are you kind of impressed by what I just did?
I feel like I need to lie down for a minute. Let's do the show.